GPS to contest in all seats. Premier to speak at World Hydrogen Summit. UN predicts severe food shortages in 2022. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Cheryl Shaminato, and this is TVS Nightline. Gabungan Party Sarawak, or GPS, on Thursday announced that it will contest in all 31 parliamentary seats in the upcoming general election. Its chairman, DATUK Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, is optimistic that the coalition can secure a clean sweep victory.
Kita akan fill all the 31 seats.
Abang Johari disclosed this after two federal ministers under Bersatu expressed their intentions to contest under GPS umbrella. The two ministers are Saratok MP, Dato' Ali Biju, who is also Deputy Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, and Puncak Borneo MP and Deputy Minister of Plantation Industries and Commodities, Dato' Willie Mongin. GPS coalition comprises Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu (PBB), Parti Rakyat Sarawak (PRS), Sarawak United People's Party (SUPP), and Progressive Democratic Party (PDP). In the same development, Abang Johari said Sarawak is insistent that the annual grant allocated from the federal government under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution to be calculated based on revenue sharing formula and not solely based on fixed amounts, adding that the state is very practical and pragmatic in its approach.
You know, my principle is like this. If the country is doing well, then it must be shared. Okay. Number one. If the country is not doing well, we share the burden together. So surely, based on the formula, if the income revenue is less, then the grant is less. You cannot fix like that because we also must be concerned on the financial position of the federal government.
Previously, he said that the motion for the use of the formula had been put forward during the Pakatan Harapan administration, but to no avail. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, is expected to share about Sarawak's green economy to an international audience at the World Hydrogen Forum 2022 in Rotterdam, Netherlands next week. He said Sarawak is the only state in Malaysia and Asia with a transformative policy towards green economy and aims to attract direct investment into the state's hydrogen economy. Sarawak has inked agreements with Korea and Japan for the production of hydrogen energy.
Sekarang ini kita sudah ada memperceraikan perjanjian dengan Korea dan Jepun. Dan kita ada 3 sumber, iaitu sumber air yang boleh memecahkan hidrogen dengan oksigen kepada hidrogen. Sumbernya daripada air. Dan kita mempunyai sumber yang banyak dari air. Ini sudut pertama, iaitu tenaga hijau. Nombor 2-nya ialah blue renewable energy, blue economy, yang berpunca daripada gas. Gas kan, gas kita pecah mengeluarkan amonia, amonia dipecah lagi mengeluarkan hidrogen. Jadi kita ada 2 sumber. Yang sumber ketiga ialah melalui solar yang boleh mengeluarkan hidrogen. Jadi apa yang berlaku sekarang, dunia berkisar kepada ekonomi yang baru ini. Jadi kita ada advantage. Sebab itu apabila saya memperkenalkan digital ekonomi dan juga ekonomi hijau, bermakna kita mempunyai market pasaran yang meluas.
He was met after attending Aidilfitri Open House in Gadong on Thursday. In other matters, a newly released United Nations report has warned that countries around the world are likely to face even more severe food shortages in 2022, with the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis having the biggest impact on lower-income countries. The report that the world faces an unprecedented hunger crisis, with food prices having never been higher and the lives and livelihoods of millions left hanging in the balance. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the situation in Ukraine is worsening food, energy and financial crisis that will have a devastating impact on the world's most vulnerable countries. Since Russia and Ukraine are the world's leading exporters of a wide range of food crops.
There is really no true solution to the problem of global food security without bringing back the agriculture production of Ukraine and the food and fertilizer production of Russia and Belarus into world markets despite the war. And I'm determined to do everything to facilitate the dialogue that can help achieve this objective.
It said that last year, 193 million people across 53 countries were at risk of food insecurity, a significant increase from 2020, while the global food security situation is expected to worsen in 2022. The WFP's chief economist, ARIF HUSAIN, said on Wednesday that the food security of some of the world's less prosperous nations will be greatly influenced by the ongoing conflict.
Put yourself in a position where in a low-income country or lower middle-income country where you were, let's say, spending 50% of your income or more on food. And suddenly your food got more expensive. This is what we are seeing in many parts of the world as we speak.
Petronas Dagangan Berhad (PDP) and Petroleum Sarawak Berhad or Petros on Thursday announced the completion of the business transfer and share subscription agreement for Petros Niaga Sdn Berhad. This conclusion marks the operationalization of the partnership for the liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) business in Sarawak.
In a joint statement, the company said that starting Thursday, all gas Petronas gas-filled cylinders are Petros, as marketed by Petros Niaga, and all existing Petronas LPG dealers are now Petros LPG dealers. PDB Managing Director and CEO Azrul Osman Rani said that the company would continue to serve the community in Sarawak. The completed agreement with Petros involves the divestment of PDB Sarawak LPG business to Petros Niaga and subscription to a 49% equity stake in Petros Niaga. Meanwhile, the Petros Niaga joint entity features a joint board of directors chaired by Abang Arabi Abang Narudin, the Senior Vice President of Corporate Strategy of Petros, and shareholder representatives from Petros and PDB. Existing Director Bong Siet Fa, Petros Chief Financial Officer, is joined by the new appointments of Pramela Valinayagan, the head of LPG business of PDB, and Farzlina Ahmad Murad, PDB's Chief Financial Officer. On the other hand, Lai Ah Kiao has been appointed as the CEO of Petros Niaga.
Sarawak government will take over the Rumah Sentoria project Phase 7, Borneo Semariang Garden BSG project, to address once and for all the issues faced by home buyers. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tonopeng, said he was aware of the issue and warned the developer in charge.
Saya fikir mereka tidak dapat menguruskan. Sebab itu kalau dia dah selesai dan kerajaan kita akan mengambil alih apabila selesai semua keadaan perundangan.
Abang Johari was responding to a question regarding the Sick House projects. The takeover process could only take effect after all relevant issues are resolved, including legal aspects. The housing construction is initially scheduled to be completed in 2019. However, the project has yet to be completed and buyers have started paying off their loans.
The Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department, or Bomba Sarawak, is concerned about the increasing trend of fire cases in 2022. According to Sarawak Bomba Director DATUK Rahman, in the first 3 months of 2022, fire cases in Sarawak recorded a significant increase.
According to him, the difference is clearly seen after the country enters the endemic phase.
Perbandingan antara 2-3 bulan pertama pada tahun 2020 dan 2021 nampak taraf peningkatan dan juga melibatkan kematian. Dan setakat hari ini ada lebih kurang 8 kes kematian di negeri Sarawak ini, dan ini amat mencemaskan dan mengusahkan, di mana kemalangan inilah, kalau kita lihat kepada sinaryo kejadian, boleh diselamatkan. Mereka boleh menyelamatkan diri.
As such, Khairuddin advocated that each household had precautionary measures, such as installing a smoke detector alarm and fire extinguishers.
Mungkin masih banyak di kalangan masyarakat bercakap dengan tentunya memiliki alat api dan juga pesan asap ni bukan benda yang penting. Tetapi dalam banyak kes-kes kebakaran yang mana pemilik bangunan, sama ada rumah panjang, rumah persendirian, boleh memadam kebakaran pada peringkat awal oleh kerana mereka mempunyai alat tersebutlah.
Khairuddin stressed that the local community needs to seriously address fire safety education to raise awareness among its members, especially children.
Coming up after the break, a petition was launched to urge local councils to rethink their strategies in strays management. A jersey worn by football legend Maradona sold off for over 40 million ringgit. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. Stray animals have always been thrown under the bus, as many see them as a nuisance or annoyance, always begging for meals and leaving a stench whenever they walk past. However, a Malaysian man has decided to stand and advocate out of his own willingness for these fur babies.
According to the statistic, our local council is killing 1.8 million stray in a year. Malaysia is the only one killing against human. Also the only one they never get to solve the stray issue.
Joseph Hu has started a petition campaign all over Malaysia to convince local councils to rethink their strategies in managing these local strays. He has strategized an approach called the TNRM, Trap, Neuter, Release or Rehome, Manage.
Trap, neuter, release, or rehome, or so-called TNR program. So far, this is still the most effective way to really reduce the number of stray and stop their breeding cycle. So, for example, if 2 stray and in 3 years' time, they're going to deliver more than 200 puppies, which means from 2 of them became 200 of them in 3 years' time. There's a very incredible number. But from now, if it's neuter them, you spray them, the following 200 will not come to the world.
He also said that microchips are currently the best technology for strays after they have been trapped and neutered.
So far, microchips is still the best technology and it should be compulsory because from there we can track the owner details. If let's say today we found a missing puppy, we found abandoned puppies, we can know who's the owner and we can get to contact with the owner.
Hu noted that owners should take precaution and not allow their fur animals to roam around so freely as though they are strays, as it would defeat the purpose of providing care and shelter for them.
There's nothing wrong to let your fur kids run freely outside the house or on the street. There's their freedom, but to behave like this for 24 hours and 7 days. And please pay some attention when your fur kid is on the street or outside of your house. Because if anything happens, the responsibility and the punishment shall be absorbed by the owner.
Meanwhile, Hu's goal is to reach 10,000 physical signatures, therefore giving him an opportunity to petition to the local councils. Up till May 1st, he has received 1,000 signatures and needs the help of the public in order to save these strays' lives. In addition, the public can download and sign the petition form and contact Hu upon completion.
Following the transition into the endemic phase, tourist arrival in the state has seen an increase. As such, it has shown a positive impact on the country's economy, which has been halted since the pandemic began 2 years ago.
Deputy Minister of Tourism Datuk Sebastian Ting CHIEW said domestic tourism has seen an increase following the Aidilfitri celebration. Meanwhile, ever since the borders were open, the number of international tourists has also soared.
The domestic tourism, of course, during this festival, Hari Raya festival, the people are coming back now. Now, the other one is international arrival. We also feel that, yes, we have more people coming in from overseas. In particular, we feel that a lot of Singaporeans, especially being the nearest part, flying over to our place here. And we also given to understand our nearest neighbor, Indonesia, in terms of land, they also are coming in. So all these are definitely agreeing very well for tourism in Sarawak.
He reiterated that Sarawak has targeted a total of 1.2 million tourist arrival. However, he believes that the actual number will be higher.
And for this year, we feel that our target initially of 1.2 million tourists coming into Sarawak will be we could definitely reach that. I personally believe that we will be looking at least 1.5 million. That's my own target. Yeah, because from these 2 days, people coming in and out. Yes, we will have more tourism coming in. Tourists coming in, and this will definitely will be good for Sarawak as a whole.
In fact, the new relaxed standard operating procedures have brought a new breath to this year's Aidilfitri celebration.
Former federal court judge Dr. Sri Gopal Sri Ram will lead the defense team in Sam Ting's appeal against her conviction and jail sentence for reckless driving, which caused the death of 8 teenagers who were riding on modified bicycles, commonly known as basikal lajak. Lawyer Harvinderjit Singh confirmed the matter. He said he will appear with Sri Ram to represent Sam, and their appointments were finalized today. Harvinder Singh said Sam met Sri Ram at his office today and he has agreed to conduct the appeal for the clerk, adding that her lawyer Faisal Mokhtar would also be part of the legal team. He said he would inform Court of Appeal Deputy Registrar on their appointments and also seek for the appeal records to be provided to prepare the case as well as to prepare the petition of appeal. Many have lauded the implementation of the new ceiling for minimum wage to 1,500 ringgit, indicating that the move was timely. The minimum wage have been increased 10% from 2016 to 2019, where it stood at 1,100 ringgit and then rose a further 9% to 1,200 ringgit in 2020.
For Gladys Tan Yi Kim, she said the extra money will come in handy, but businesses worry they'll have to raise prices or cut staff.
Well, at a first glance, it definitely feels more compatible compared to the previous minimum wage of 1,002, because the prices of everything like food, raw materials, housing, everything is going up. So I think that people could really use a boost in salary. But on the other hand, SMEs might have trouble keeping up because they're just starting to recover from the pandemic. So this could also really be an additional pressure on them. So I guess it really depends on which side of the economy you're looking from.
Meanwhile, a factory worker, Santi Dawood, thinks the implementation of the new minimum wage would help meet at least part of the rising cost of living.
In my opinion, I think it's fair for every firm and industry to increase the basic salary into 1,500 ringgit Malaysia. Especially now, our country Malaysia is building and raising up again since the drop of economic during the COVID-19 pandemic for the past 2 years. I believe with this new minimum wage, all employees from various firms and industry should be able to afford for their living.
Clara Beatrice seconded the idea, noting that raising the minimum wage is key to supporting the breadwinning family members who drive the economy.
I have some opinions on this issue, especially the effects to people specifically. One of it is it might hurt the poor people. Proponents of increasing minimum wage often say that it is difficult to support a family with the only breadwinner earning such minimum salary. Also, increases in the minimum wage will actually redistribute income among poor families, where some are given higher wages and others are put out of work. Secondly, it would lead to higher prices of goods and the cost of living will increase as well. Apart from that, it will result in lack of motivation among minimum wage workers. So, the lack of motivation will cause ineffectiveness of working qualities, and it will give impact to our economic growth in Malaysia.
Previously, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, in his winding address at the UMNO General Assembly, announced the implementation of the new minimum wage rate of 1,500 ringgit per month, starting May 1st nationwide. The minimum wage was implemented after taking into account the current rising cost of living, which is affecting the B40 income bracket.
Thank you for staying with me. Shell on Thursday, May 5, reported a record first quarter profit of $9.13 billion, boosted by higher oil and gas prices, stellar refining profits, and a strong performance of its trading division. Shell joins sector rivals including BP.L and Total Energies in making big profits from the commodity price volatility stoked by Russia's invasion of Ukraine that began on February 24. It beat its previous highest quarterly profits recorded in 2008, even after writing down $3.9 billion post-tax as a result of its decision to exit operations in Russia. It is also winding down oil and gas trading with Russia. Shell shares rose 3.3% in early trading, outperforming the 1.8% rise of an index of oil and gas companies. By the end of this year, Shell said it would stop all of its long-term Russian crude oil purchases, except 2 contracts with a small independent Russian producer that it did not name. Its contracts to import refined oil products from Russia will also end, it said, adding it still had running long-term contracts to buy Russian liquefied natural gas. Shell, the world's largest LNG trader, said sales of the fuel rose by 9% in the quarter to 18.3 million tons. LNG is seen as crucial to ending Europe's reliance on Russian pipeline gas. Let's wrap up the Nightline with this feature. The shirt worn by Diego Maradona when he scored 2 of the most famous goals in soccer history was sold for £7.14 million, marking a new auction record for an item of sports memorabilia. Maradona wore Argentina's number 10 shirt in the 1986 World Cup quarter-final against England in Mexico. 6 minutes into the second half, he put his team ahead by punching the ball into the net for what became known as the Hand of God goal. 4 minutes later, Maradona dribbled from his own half to score a goal widely considered one of the greatest in the World Cup history. England midfielder Steve Hodge got Maradona's jersey after the game and announced last month he was putting it up for auction after 19 years on display at England's National Football Museum. Sotheby said the buyer was anonymous. The sale broke the previous record for sports memorabilia set by the original autographed manuscript of the Olympic Manifesto from 1892, which went for $8.8 million in 2019. The sale of Maradona's jersey was complicated by claims that the wrong shirt was going under the hammer, with his daughter and ex-wife saying Hodge received the shirt Maradona wore in the first half of the match. They used photo matching technology to conclusively match the shirt to both goals by examining unique details on various elements of the item, including the patch, stripes, and numbering. Maradona, regarded as one of the world's best ever footballers, died in November 2020, aged 60. And that feature concludes TVS Nightline for tonight. For recurring updates, do follow us on our TVS official Facebook page and also on our headlining stories on our website at TVSTVMY. Here with me, Shol Shamato, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.